The Logitech Combo Touch is a great option if you want to add a keyboard, a trackpad, and a case to your iPad 10th generation or 11th generation A16 models. This is a very cool case that unfolds easily and has a kickstand on the back of it, and you also get backlit keys and a trackpad and a full function row as well. And it even is going to do a great job at protecting your iPad because this case wraps completely around the iPad. So in this video, we're going to show all the features of this case, who I think it's for, a couple other options as well, if you should buy the Combo Touch or look elsewhere. And I do want to say this review is for the one that's for the iPad 10th generation or the 11th generation with USB-C ports. There's a couple other Combo Touch models as well. So depending on the iPad you have, make sure you get the case that fits with it. So to set this up, the first thing you're going to have to do is actually put the iPad in the main body of the keyboard case, because this is what has the kickstand on it. What I don't really like about the Combo Touch is it fits really tight, so you're going to have to put a little bit of pressure on the iPad to actually set it up. So once you get it on, what's cool about this is you can still use it as a tablet. You can use it with the keyboard detached. And then the keyboard uses the smart connector, and it just magnetically attaches. You've got the kickstand on the back of it, and now you're ready to type. There's no Bluetooth pairing or battery life that you have to worry about because everything just goes directly through the smart connector. So I found the typing performance to be pretty good on this, and it's pretty accurate to type with. The keys are pretty flat and there's not a ton of key travel, so it will take a little bit of getting used to. Also, due to the smaller size of an iPad, if you compare it to something like a MacBook Air, the keys are a lot tighter in place than they would otherwise be. But other than that, it feels very similar to typing on a laptop, and for most Mac users, everything's going to feel about the same. A couple of the shortcut buttons on it are different just because of the backlighting on it. You have screen brightness, dictation, keyboard button, screenshot button, backlighting buttons, and you also have media buttons for adjusting your volume or for skipping tracks, playing and pausing, and I really like all the options they chose for this. If you're interested in buying the Combo Touch or any of my favorite iPad accessories, I do have links to buy in the description below. On the side of it, you get a holder for an Apple Pencil, which I find to be a very useful feature, and then on the other side of it, there's the cutout for using with the Touch ID button. And then you have the kickstand on the back, and whenever you fold it up, it does a pretty good job at staying in place. The keyboard's not going to fall down. It kind of uses a little bit of a magnetic clasp to hold it. It can be a little bit annoying to actually lift the keyboard out. You either need to get your fingernail under it, or I find using the Touch ID button as a slot to open it up also works pretty well. Probably the biggest downside to this case to me is the kickstand on it feels kind of flimsy. Apple's Magic Keyboard Folio kickstand is a lot more durable than this one, and I find that if you want to actually use this on your lap, it is going to shake a little bit, so it's not going to be quite as good of an option for using on a couch. The materials also all feel pretty nice. It's got cloth materials on it, and it's got this rubber protector for the side of the iPad itself, which feels like it'd do a pretty good job at protecting it from scratches and dings. I did find the main case to be pretty hard to get on it and also pretty hard to remove, so I really recommend just getting this to keep it on. If you don't want to use the keyboard, you can remove it and then you can put it to the side, but unlike some of the other Combo Touches, you can't actually store it on the back side of it, which I'm not really sure what the deal is with the way that it's magnetized, because with the Combo Touch for my iPad Air, it has no problem being stored on the back of the iPad when it's not in use. So with this one, you're going to need to store the keyboard off to the side somewhere whenever you want to just use it in tablet mode. But this case also has a lot of versatility with the kickstand, because you can either put it upright like this, or you can also go to a really low angle, which is kind of nice for drawing, gives you a little bit of bounce with it. They also say that you can hold it like this if you want to use it almost as a little bit of extra grip for holding it, or you can always just fold it away like so. One other issue I did have is there's a cutout on the side for a USB-C port, but if I was trying to plug some SSDs or different USB-C cables in, not all of them actually fit, so I think they should have given a bigger cutout on the side to allow different cables to pass through. The Logitech Combo Touch for the 10th generation or 11th generation iPad goes for about $160, but you can often find this for just $110, which I feel at that price, it's pretty much a no-brainer for the iPad. There's really no reason to get the Magic Keyboard unless you want something a little bit more minimal and you want the leather feel instead. This still has a very durable, high quality feel to it. All the functionality you need. The backlighting on the keys is really nice. The trackpad is very responsive and works great on iPad OS and adds a lot of functionality that I didn't know was missing from iPad OS until I actually had the trackpad to work with. There's no battery life to worry about. All you got to do is set it up with the case, and then you can magnetically attach it and detach it. This makes a great option to type away on your iPad. So overall, the Logitech Combo Touch gives you all the functionality you need to really elevate your iPad experience. It's available at a low price, which matches the lower price range of this iPad well to get you this nice, almost laptop-like setup without having to go out and spend as much as an iPad Air or an iPad Pro would cost. You get all the function rows, very responsive trackpad, and a very usable keyboard in a nice, compact piece that folds up very well, so you're always ready to go with the iPad and the Logitech Combo Touch. If you got any questions about this setup, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear them. If you're interested in buying one of these, I do have links to buy in the description below. Like this video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any upcoming content.